What's up, savvy expats? Today we're going to be talking about the benefits of living in BGC as an expat. Highly requested video. So let's talk about the first benefit, which is probably one of the most important, at least on my list. So at number one, we have an endless amount of food options. Yep, we have many different food options here in BGC, whether it be cheap or expensive. Well, actually, let me correct myself. I said an endless amount of food options, but one of the main foods that we don't have here in the Philippines is Mexican food. So you can take Mexican food off the list, but we have a lot of food options here. But aside from that, whether it be local Filipino food, whether it be Japanese food, whether it be Chinese or westernized food, we have it here. Me, coming from a place like Chicago, where in my opinion has some of the best food in the world, yes, I'm pretty biased, I can get pretty picky with food. What food is good, what isn't, and I'm sure a lot of you expats are the same way as well. So let's get into what are the best food options here in the Philippines, at least in my opinion. So let's start with number one. We have Mendokoro, Japanese ramen.
See, look at how silky this is. I mean, wow. It's very nice. Porky, delicious, pretty thick and heavy, but that's kind of my kind of style ramen broth. It's very delicious. And next, of course, we have to get this pork in these noodles. It's so fatty. That ramen is so delicious.
So as you guys saw, obviously Mendokoro is a delicious looking bowl of ramen. That is a super sashu, thick bowl of ramen, but super delicious. Whenever it's a thick bowl of ramen, you know it's packed with flavor. So let's move on to the next restaurant. Now at number two, throwing some variety at you guys with Mediterranean or Middle Eastern food, we have Cafe Med. If you don't like Mediterranean food, Middle Eastern food, click off this video right now, because this is one of the best Mediterranean, Middle Eastern food I've ever had in the Philippines. Delicious, check it out.
That's pretty good. That lamb is the most authentic lamb gyro I've ever had here in the Philippines.
Now at number three, we have Shake Shack. Listen, if Shake Shack is one of the best, if not the best burger in the US, you bet your bottom dollar that it is the best burger in the Philippines, and you can't argue with that. I'll tell you what, I've never had a burger in the Philippines better than Shake Shack. It's buttery. You know what? Just cue it. Just cue the videos. Check it out. Alright guys, the burgers are here. So I'm so excited.
Wow. Alright, let's eat some of these fries too.
Ooh, these fries are crispy. Now for the fourth and final restaurant, I have to throw in Wildflower. If you're an expat that just likes classic American food that you've probably grown up with, sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, eggs Benedict, these kinds of things, then Wildflower is a place to check out.
Holy cow. In all honesty, I wasn't expecting that burger. I mean, chicken sandwich to be that good. I can't find like the adjective to describe it.
So that's probably the best chicken sandwich I've ever had on this.
Yeah, I think that's
Oh, that's so awesome.
And it's not as many seeds from the berries in it, but it's good. There's a breeze out.
This is by far the best chicken sandwich I've had here. It's so good.
It's good. It's and then for bread, and then
I don't want to sound like the guy that says this is the best thing I've ever had on everything I've ever had, but
it's gonna be every end.
that spaghetti is actually one of the best spaghettis I've had here in BGC. So now that we covered benefit number 1 of living in BGC, which is a diversity of food, let's talk about benefit number 2. And that is number 2, BGC is an ideal location to live in. Yep, BGC is one of the most sought after places to live in all of the Philippines, not only for its lifestyle, but also for its location. So what are some examples? Well, BGC is right next to Makati and it's only 30 minutes away from Ortigas Central Business District. So many major areas in Manila is accessible from BGC. And not to mention, everything in BGC is walking distance, so there's no need to worry about sitting in traffic, which is honestly what the Philippines is known for. Now, speaking of being pedestrian friendly, that leads me into my third benefit of living in BGC as an expat, and that is BGC is pedestrian friendly. Point blank simple, BGC is a walking city. It's not the kind of city where you have to drive everywhere. It's not the kind of city where you have to take a cab, Grab. It's a walking city. I don't think I've ever really used a Grab just to get anywhere here in BGC. But as for examples of places that you can walk around here in BGC, number 1, you have Terra 28th. Yep, Terra 28th is a park where many pedestrians walk around. Now at number 2, you have Track 30th. This is a place where you can do pull-ups, this is a place where you can walk, run, and you'll find many, not only expats, but just locals just exercising, doing push-ups, doing burpees. So it's a very common place to work out here in the Philippines. And you don't have to pay for a private gym. And the third pedestrian-friendly place in BGC that I highly recommend that you guys check out is High Street. If you're living in BGC and you haven't checked out High Street, what are you doing? Guys, get your butt over there. There's many different higher end stores like Rolex, but at the same time just your regular clothing wear. You have Nike, you have Under Armour, you have Bench, you also have some really good restaurants, of course Shake Shack. So check out High Street, guys. Great place to walk around and just many different shops to check out. So go check that out, guys. And the fourth benefit of living in BGC is that BGC has a ton of world-class facilities. First, you have St. Luke's Hospital, which is one of the nicest hospitals in all of the Philippines. And second, you have the British International School of Manila. I highly suggest this place if you have children, if you're an expat and you want to send them to a good school here in BGC. Highly recommend it. British International School of Manila, another world-class facility. And the third world-class facility, and personally my favorite, is Carry Sports at Shangri-La. It's a very expensive membership, but hear me out. This is what they have. They have tennis courts, they have basketball courts, they have swimming pools, they have kids play gyms, and that's just to name the least of it. And then they have a huge gym, probably the nicest here in the Philippines, so check that out as well. So we talked about the benefits of living in BGC as an expat, and the list really just goes on and on with the advantages of living here. But what are some of the disadvantages? Well, a lot of people would consider one of the disadvantages being BGC is pricey, and I get why people think that, but at the same time, you cannot expect to be paying traditional Philippine prices as if you're living in the province when you're really not living that lifestyle. I mean, look at this. You know, does this look like you'd be living in Pampanga or, I don't know, Cavite? It doesn't. So, I mean, you can't really expect to pay those kind of prices. You can't expect to pay Philippine prices because, listen, if they had Philippine prices here and you're paying like $200 rent, the whole world would be flocking here and BGC would be bankrupt. So, you can't expect to pay cheap prices like that. I get a lot of comments saying BGC is very pricey, which in some ways I agree, but at the same time, you're getting a different value, and when you come here and you're living here, you're pretty much signing up for a different lifestyle. So I'll tell you what, yes, BGC is pricey, but you are getting a totally different lifestyle, and many of you expats obviously already knew that. So That is one of the disadvantages to living here in BGC, is that it is pricier. So there you guys have it. That is the benefits to living in BGC as an expat. What did you guys think about this video? Comment down below your thoughts. Comment down below your favorite benefit. Personally, for me, it was number one, which was the food. Love the food here in BGC. I love the ramen, I love the burgers. And also I'm planning on making another video, the most affordable places to live in Makati. So if you guys want to see that, let's get this video to 50 likes. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.